joining me today on the Moneybag 73 channel. Well, I was in the cafeteria at lunch today and I caught a little bit of the financial news on the television, and I heard some economist, I guess he was, I don't remember who it was, he said that the stock market was an economic indicator and it being at all-time highs. You know, we're in a recovery mode. Well, this reminded me of when I heard Alan Greenspan say that the stock market is the key player in the game of economic growth. And it's just so misleading. I feel sorry for people who don't really pay attention to what's going on, because they don't see what's really happening. And that's a lot of what I'm trying to do here on this channel, is to point out what's really going on. I've heard over $1 quadrillion derivative market. And that's what brought us down 5 years ago. I believe that's what will bring us down again. There's side bets. It's like a giant casino. The whole financial system's like a giant casino. And you got all these side bets, you know, like collateralized debt obligations. I mean, there's people that are betting on whether people are going to default on their loans. And some of these are so complicated that people selling them don't even understand them. They're computer models. So anyhow, I mean, with that whole thing going on, the Federal Reserve has pumped up the stock market with all the money printing that they've done, the quadrupling of the monetary base. A lot of that money had to go somewhere. So we have huge inflation in the stock market. And we're seeing it again now in the housing market. But when you say that the stock market is an economic indicator, it's so misleading. Think about it this way: you live in a town, and you're supposed to take care of somebody's dog, and you're supposed to walk that dog and bathe that dog, and feed it. You know, take care of it. But in that town, everybody considers a nice, plump, round, heavy dog to be a happy dog. And that's how they determine whether, you know, people are taking care of their animals well. So if you had this job, do you think you'd concentrate more on making sure it gets its walks and it bathed real well, or are you pumping tons of food into its mouth to make sure it's plump, so you show the owners you're doing a good job? I mean, the stock market is paraded on television every day. Every day you can turn on TV and see the Dow's up 120 points, or it's down 50 points, or the S&P's up 35, whatever it is. Every day you're shown, because most people are blindly pumping money into their 401ks, which reminds me of some other guy telling me, well, why are you buying gold and silver? Because they confiscated gold back in 1933, and they'll do it again. I'm like, okay, gold was money then, buddy. Everyone had it. Who has gold now? Most people don't have any gold. Why are they going to confiscate it? Most people have a 401k, probably to the tune of about $14 trillion. And I'm sure the government would love to get their mitts on that. So, in my opinion, they would be confiscating or putting you into some guaranteed federal annuity bond, whatever the hell they want to call it, and then, you know, some safe investment. They'll put you into debt. I mean, Bernanke says that the United States debt is in huge demand and everyone wants a piece of it. So how about give it all to the American people and take the 401ks? I mean, people need to wake up to this type of stuff. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it could. People really need to wake up. So anyhow, I was thinking, well, rather than looking at the stock market, let's look at some other indicators. Silver and gold are up 100% or so from 5 years ago. Unemployment, I know, is a lot higher, a lot worse. New home sales, I know those are way off. Housing unit starts, those are way off. The Federal Reserve balance sheet, well, that's quadrupled from all their money printing. Here's one of my favorites. Food stamp recipients. There was 28 million people on food stamps 5 years ago. We got 48 million now, approaching 50 million. But 1 in 6 people need help from the government to put food on the table. It was 1 in 11 5 years ago. If that's not an economic indicator, I don't know what the hell is. Federal spending is higher while their income is lower. I mean, you look at all these different indicators and it shows that things are really bad. But, you know, they parade the stock market like back in, what was it, 3-4 years ago, and it hit 10,000. Wearing hats, party hats. Well, it hit 10,000 in 1999, 10 years earlier. So what's that tell you? It hadn't gone anywhere in 10 years. They're celebrating on TV. So anyhow, I just wanted to remind everybody, I know a lot of you probably already know this, but I wanted to remind you that the stock market is not an economic indicator. And you know, we're coming towards something that's going to be horrendous, and most people are going to be blindsided again. I mean, they're pumping up huge bubbles in the stock market, in the bond market. I did a video about the bond market. I mean, it's just, we're in a time now where just blowing up bubbles to give an illusion. It's all about an illusion. You have to give an illusion that everything's fine. And ultimately, you know, this whole debt system that we have is going to collapse. And I hope you're on the right side of the fence when it does, holding some real money. I mean, that may not be enough. Maybe real money will do nothing. We could have a Mad Max situation, like my brother likes to talk about. Martial law, 19 years military, retired combat vet, my brother. He likes to talk about, all right, that was nice. He likes to talk about the Mad Max situation with his 6,000 rounds of ammo and all his guns. Yeah, I mean, it could be that, and your silver and gold may do nothing. I mean, I hope it doesn't get there. What I actually see happening, honestly, is the derivatives are going to cause another 2008, and I'm feeling that it's coming within the next year. So that may or may not happen, and I think that the money printing is just going to be ramped up. You're going to see massive printing to the tune of Japanese style. So maybe we'll all be sipping on some miso soup, because that's all we're going to be able to afford. Talk to y'all soon.